blows, he pokes eyes. Even with all the fouls, he still gets like an infinite amount of title shots. He wins the majority of his fights without any consequences to his fouling. The worst he's ever had was getting a no contest against Tom Aspinall. That was the worst consequence he ever had for all the fouls he's done his entire career. I guess don't hate the player, hate the game. But to say the jab was lucky is crazy too. Now, I think Gane didn't think he would drop him with it. I think that was surprising to him because he doesn't drop people with that jab. But he definitely meant to land it the way he did. The effects were different, so Alex is coping.
Aproveitou, né, e começou a colocar os golpes mais fortes ali.
Be a 3-division world champion for the first time, and it's look. Tom Aspinall is a large obstacle.
That's a big.
That's a giant man that is never going to make middleweight, never going to make light heavyweight. That is a true heavyweight.
Tom Aspinall couldn't make 225.
No,
he's huge.
Yeah.
What if the rules meant to govern the world's most dangerous sport are nothing more than a complete illusion? We just witnessed one of the most chaotic periods in mixed martial arts history, a stretch of days where multi-billion-dollar empires were challenged, illegal operations were thwarted by federal authorities, and championship legacies were completely dismantled in a matter of rounds. The rankings have been entirely rewritten, legends have been removed from the top 15 entirely, and the balance of power inside the division structures has shifted permanently. But behind the official point changes and the glamorous championship belts lies a much darker reality filled with backend lawsuits, medical emergencies, and a growing rebellion from the sport's biggest icons. The immediate fallout of the heavyweight co-main event has officially triggered a legal civil war. Alex Pereira is refusing to accept his loss to Ciryl Gane, launching a formal legal appeal with the Athletic Commission to have the decision completely overturned. Behind closed doors, the Brazilian powerhouse and his management team have already mobilized their attorneys, stating that a massive bill is about to come due for the people who let the bout end the way it did. Pereira didn't just stop at formal paperwork. He went public with graphic evidence of the physical damage to the back of his skull, displaying severe bruising and swelling that he claims came directly from illegal blows. According to his camp, they explicitly warned the officiating staff the day before the match, pointing out past tape of the French heavyweight utilizing questionable strikes in previous bouts. They demanded extra vigilance, yet when the critical moment arrived, the officiating fell completely apart. But that wasn't the whole story. The officiating failure has put the sport's most famous referee directly into the crosshairs of both fans and fighters. Herb Dean found himself facing a wave of public fury so intense that he was forced to release an emergency video breakdown to salvage his reputation. Dean attempted to explain the highly specific and often misunderstood boundaries governing the rear of the skull, pointing out that the forbidden zone is actually microscopic, focusing strictly on the nape of the neck with a tiny variance on either side. To the viewing audience, however, the explanation felt less like clarity and more like gaslight. This isn't the first time the veteran official has been accused of operating under his own internal logic rather than the official unified regulations. Legendary figure Big John McCarthy previously exposed a hidden piece of history on a podcast, revealing a scenario where Dean explicitly banned a fighter from throwing standard guard elbows based on a completely fabricated concept of a clock being mounted on the ceiling. This underlying history of arbitrary decision-making has led Pereira to publicly demand that Dana White make an example out of the referee, arguing that officials should face the same harsh organizational discipline as fighters when they ruin the integrity of a high-profile broadcast. And what happened next would shock everyone. While the legal battle rages over the officiating, an absolute medical crisis is unfolding for the sport's newest fallen star. Ilia Topuria's aura of invincibility has been violently shattered, and the true extent of the physical damage he suffered is devastating. Close associates have revealed that the former champion sustained multiple severe fractures to his orbital bones and his nose, leaving him in a condition where he was physically unable to even open his eyes days after the contest. The brutal nature of the stoppage has opened the floodgates for heavy criticism from his peers, with rival personalities like Paddy Pimblett publicly questioning his heart. Pimblett slammed Topuria as an outright quitter, pointing out that true elite competitors do not choose to remain seated on the stool when the going gets tough. He contrasted the performance with his own past grueling wars, claiming he fought through severe concussive trauma without ever looking for an exit strategy. Despite the intense backlash and the broken bones, Topuria is reportedly already fixated on a massive stadium rematch, using his recovery period to plot a violent return to relevance. But that wasn't the whole story. Topuria's sudden vulnerability has made him the prime target for elite contenders looking to kick him while he's down. Arman Tsarukyan wasted absolutely no time rubbing salt into the wounds, publicly sharing a savage direct message he sent to the injured fighter, mocking his broken face and telling him to update his social media record the second his phone's face-scanning technology was functional again. Yet, Tsarukyan's aggressive social media posturing might be masking his own growing isolation within the hierarchy of the company. Former pound-for-pound King Alexander Volkanovski publicly pointed out that Tsarukyan made a critical tactical mistake by refusing to step up as a short-notice backup fighter for the recent Washington, D.C. card, missing a crucial opportunity to prove himself as a reliable asset to the executive staff. The internal locker room criticism goes even deeper, as former champion Ciryl Adesanya recently exposed Tsarukyan for completely losing his focus at the absolute highest level of the sport. Adesanya warned that you cannot maintain championship-level consistency when you spend your valuable training camps traveling and streaming on the regular with controversial internet celebrities like Sneeko and Neon. And what happened next would shock everyone. While the younger generation battles for clout on the internet, the ultimate needle mover of combat sports is preparing to stage a multi-million-dollar rebellion against his own promoters. Conor McGregor broke his silence in an explosive studio appearance, launching a scathing critique against the promotional machine for turning into a stingy corporate cash-printing operation. McGregor pointed out that the parent organization TKO is sitting on a staggering cash profit of over $1.4 billion, yet they refuse to invest the necessary capital to turn every single live event into a massive, unforgettable spectacle. The sport's biggest icon is completely furious with his current operational status, revealing that his current contract has left him in a state of absolute administrative lockdown. Despite having a highly anticipated summer clash locked in against Max Holloway, McGregor revealed the promotion has arbitrarily scheduled his follow-up appearance for early spring 2027. This massive gap has left the Irish star stranded on the sidelines during the twilight years of his athletic prime, creating an intense behind-the-scenes conflict over his financial compensation and his long-term activity. But that wasn't the whole story. The administrative gridlock surrounding McGregor's career has only fueled a deeper web of dark rumors regarding his personal life and his physical capabilities. Explosive investigative reports recently alleged that the former double champion utilized highly irregular and banned substances to expedite the recovery of his catastrophic leg injury suffered years prior. McGregor fiercely defended his actions, stating that when an athlete experiences a potentially career-ending bone fracture, the primary medical objective should be ensuring the individual can walk normally again, rather than answering to an overly restrictive testing agency. The promotion was forced to issue an official public statement to quell the hysteria, flatly denying that their high-profile split with their former anti-doping partner had anything to do with protecting their biggest asset. Amidst this massive corporate damage control, details have surfaced regarding a failed blockbuster cross-sport deal worth an estimated $200 million. Powerful international backers attempted to book a historic two-fight series between McGregor and boxing sensation Terence Crawford, spanning both the ring and the cage, only for the deal to completely collapse when Crawford outright refused to subject his body to the devastating impact of mixed martial arts kicking techniques. And what happened next would shock everyone. The sport of mixed martial arts is rapidly outgrowing the traditional boundaries of athletic competition, transforming into an unpredictable landscape of legal warfare, administrative rebellion, and staggering physical sacrifice. From the courtroom battles over illegal strikes to the multi-million-dollar contractual standoffs happening behind closed doors, the human cost of entering the cage has never been higher. When the dust finally settles on these pending lawsuits and broken bones, the roster will likely look completely unrecognizable, leaving fans to wonder if the current champions can truly survive the chaotic era that lies directly ahead.